Plunging into despair, I confronted a world beyond life, where every belief shattered, revealing startling truths about love and connection. In that fleeting second, chaos faded, replaced by enlightenment, waiting just behind the veil. Stay with me to unearth these revelations that could redefine your understanding of existence itself. As the plane began to lose altitude, my heart raced in synchrony with the terrified cries of my fellow passengers. There was a panic in the air, palpable and electrifying, as the reality of our situation sank in. I could hear the frantic whispers, the naming of loved ones, the prayers barely escaping trembling lips. The deafening roar of engines shattered any glimmer of hope I had, and I braced for impact. It felt surreal. On this ordinary flight, everything was about to change dramatically. When we hit the water, it was like being thrust into chaos. The impact felt brutal, the aircraft splintering and disintegrating around me. I remember the frigid ocean water gushing in, swallowing the remnants of my reality as I lost consciousness. For a moment, the world outside was a whirlwind of confusion. Sharp sounds, muffled cries, and the illusion of time stretching infinitely collided in my mind. And yet, amidst this terror, a strange warmth began to envelop me. Just as the grip of panic tightened its hold, I felt it. Something soft and assuring, cradling me with a gentle embrace. My heart raced, but this warmth began to calm my racing thoughts. It was as if some unseen force was welcoming me into a tranquil refuge. The chaos faded into a distant echo. The overwhelming terror of drowning started to dissolve as I slipped into oblivion. In those final moments, where fear and acceptance intertwined, I felt an inexplicable sense of peace wash over me. It was a clarity that I had not known before, a realization that I was not alone, even in the depths of despair. That last flicker of consciousness marked not an end, but a passage into something profoundly different. I now understand that what came next was not an end, but a beginning. A journey unfolding beyond the darkness. As I emerged from that void, I found myself in an extraordinary realm beyond anything I could have imagined. When I came to, I felt an indescribable sense of tranquility wash over me. It was as if the very fabric of my being was immersed in this ethereal space, filled with a soft, warm light, radiating pure love and acceptance. This light wasn't harsh or blinding. It illuminated everything around me in a way that felt so familiar, like the embrace of an old friend. I hadn't realized how heavy the weight of fear was until it simply melted away, leaving behind a profound sense of belonging. Suddenly, I saw a bridge made entirely of light, shimmering invitingly, beckoning me to cross into a realm I had only dared to dream about. Its radiance was mesmerizing, and as I moved closer, I could hear a symphony of voices, a chorus of gentle, soothing harmonies filling the atmosphere with a love that wrapped around me like a warm blanket. Each note felt like a caress, intertwining with my essence, assuring me I was home. The colors surrounding me were unlike anything I had ever experienced. They were vivid and alive, dancing and vibrating with energy, each hue resonating with a vibrancy that was undeniably joyful. I found myself wondering if I was dreaming, or if this was real, grappling with the uncertainty that momentarily clouded my mind. Yet, in that confusion, the warmth enveloping me was unwavering, assuring me that I was safe, that I was exactly where I was meant to be. But nothing could prepare me for the encounter that would forever alter my perception of reality. Meeting Jesus in that radiant place. As I looked around suddenly, there he was, a radiant figure of unconditional love and compassion. It felt as if the very essence of my being recognized him, and I was immediately enveloped in an overwhelming sense of peace. There was no fear, no anxiety, just an expansive calm that radiated from him and washed over me like a warm tide. I remember feeling this strange connection to every piece of existence through him, as if he could see into the very depths of my soul, revealing parts of myself I had never truly acknowledged. When he spoke, it wasn't with words, but with thoughts that resonated deeply within me. They were not mere whispers. They were a rich tapestry of emotions and profound insights that intertwined effortlessly in my mind. The messages he shared weren't just gentle reassurances. They were transformative truths that felt like they were wrapping around my spirit. His first revelation hit me with the weight of understanding. Life is measured not by our achievements or failures, but by the love we share and the bonds we create. In that moment, I realized just how simple yet powerful that truth is. He continued, illuminating the depths of my fear surrounding death and what lies beyond. Death is not an end, he told me gently, but a transition. Earth is but a classroom preparing us for the expansive lessons of the afterlife. I absorbed this notion, seeking to unwrap its implications. The idea that my time on Earth was part of a larger journey, a preparation for something greater, filled me with hope. As he spoke about the barriers that divide humanity, a calming understanding washed over me. Human divisions were never the Creator's design. All of humanity is divine, reflecting the Creator's image. Each of my previously held fears about differences between us began to fade. His message was clear. We are meant to come together, to support and uplift one another. With each revelation, a sense of purpose ignited within me, and it felt as though I was being prepared for the important reflections that were yet to come. It was a strange mixture of excitement and urgency. The warmth of his presence made me wish for this moment to last. Yet I sensed the journey wasn't over. More understanding awaited me just beyond the horizon of this radiant encounter. The next unforgettable moment was the life review. It felt as though my life was playing on a screen before me. But it was so much more than visual. As each memory flickered to life, I was swept into a vivid tapestry of experiences. I felt everything. Emotions wrapped around me like a familiar cloak, as if I was living those moments again, not just through my own eyes, but from the perspectives of those I had impacted. Waves of lovely memories flowed alongside regretful ones, each bearing its own weight. I was back in my childhood, the pure joy of laughter with friends under sunlit skies. The warmth of those carefree days filled me with happiness, but alongside that joy came the shadows of my actions. I recalled hurtful incidents, some so small that I had not given them a second thought at the time. Yet they echoed in the hearts of others. Each moment was a lesson, an opportunity not just to see the effects of my actions, but to truly feel them. In that celestial space, I was not met with judgment. Instead, I was greeted by an understanding so profound that it shifted my perspective entirely. I grasped the weight of my actions, not as failures or successes, but as lessons in love, growth, and compassion. It was liberating to confront what I had done, to witness how forgiveness was always available, even beyond the temporal realm. The realization struck a chord deep within me. Sometimes, the hardest lessons in life can lead to the greatest growth and understanding. With every replay of my life, it felt as if I was driven to embrace that love anew. A quiet urgency stirred within me, compelling me to be a vehicle of compassion, a source of light in my earthly existence. I realized how significant the choices I made were, forging connections and providing comfort, or conversely, unintentionally causing pain. Each frame of my life offered insight into the deeper currents of human existence, driving home the message that we are all intricately woven into one another's stories. But as my time in this celestial space unfolded, something even more urgent awaited me, an impending message about humanity's future. The anticipation was palpable, and I sensed I had only scratched the surface of the understanding that lay ahead. What could this message mean for us? And how would it reshape our understanding of existence? As I floated in that transcendent space, bits of information began flooding my mind, like a rushing tide, pulling me into a vortex of understanding. I saw glimpses of the future, and the weight of what I was experiencing hit me hard. The Earth, as I knew it, was perilously close to a breaking point. It was a daunting realization, like a heavy shadow looming over everything I had once taken for granted. I felt the sadness of the world seep into my being as I witnessed flashes of environmental disasters, storms raging with unrestrained fury, and ice caps melting under the relentless sun. Images of wildfires consumed me, and I understood the timeline that revealed humanity's mismanagement of the planet, a narrative woven with negligence and greed that unfolded before my very eyes. Yet amidst these warnings, a light emerged, a beacon of hope. It was as if the very essence of my spirit yearned for this revelation. I was privy to a transformative awakening set for 2030, a time when people would uncover a profound love for one another and for the earth itself. The vision filled me with a sense of purpose, a burgeoning design on the horizon where change was not only possible, but inevitable. The glimpse of this united awakening ignited a flicker of defiance against the despair that initially overwhelmed me. As Jesus shared these insights, he reassured me that even though the path ahead might be fraught with strife, collective transformation would emerge from within. I could hear the gentle urgency in his voice, the reminder that compassion would triumph over material pursuits. This truth pierced through me. The emotional weight of this message haunted me as much as it inspired me. It whispered that even a single awakened soul could spark a chain reaction, inspiring countless others to embrace love and togetherness in a world that often felt so fractured. But then came the moment I dreaded. The atmosphere shifted. A heaviness settled in my chest as the pull of that radiant existence began to wane. I knew what was coming. The realization that my time in this divine space was drawing to a close felt unbearable. My heart sank, as if it had been tethered to the very essence of this place. And now, it was slowly being yanked back into the harsh reality I had just begun to understand. I hate to admit it, but the moment I was told it wasn't my time felt crushing. The gentle pull that had enveloped me in the embrace of heaven faded into a distant echo, and with it came the weight of my earthly existence, pressing down on me. It wasn't just the allure of that radiant realm I was leaving behind. It was a profound burden tugging at my heart. The pull back to my mortal body, back to a life that now felt stark and empty compared to the love I had just witnessed. As the first responders pulled me from the wreckage, I couldn't shake the feeling of loss. The chaos around me was overwhelming, a stark contrast to the serenity I had just experienced. I felt the cold grasp of reality wrap around me, reminding me I was alive, yet that sensation of warmth from heaven stayed close, still wrapping me in its tender familiarity. But with it came an ache of longing for that peace, that sense of belonging. I knew I had changed in ways I couldn't fully articulate, and the memories of what I had witnessed felt like a bittersweet treasure hidden deep within me. The crash was not just physical. My spirit had changed forever. In the months that followed, I struggled. Battling feelings of sadness and yearning became a part of my daily existence. How could I reconcile the beauty I had encountered with the banality of life back on Earth? But rather than allow that despair to consume me, my experience ignited a fire within me, a driving force to spread love and awareness. It became clear that I couldn't revert to my old ways or simply move on. I needed to share the impact of what I had been shown, what I had felt. So, I left my corporate job to pursue a life dedicated to uplifting others and preserving our home. My new mission blossomed from the desire to remind everyone that we are all part of something beautiful, intricate, and interconnected. Life is a beautiful opportunity to express love, to cherish our connections, and to spread positivity. I want you to carry that truth with you. Remember, death is not to be feared. It is the next step in our journey, a continuation of our experiences in an everlasting cycle of love and growth. If you have felt the weight of this message, join me. Subscribe, engage with your thoughts, and let us explore together this extraordinary adventure we call life, both before and beyond.